You're like, what did I get myself into?
Sorry.
Attention, magie! Cynthia Erivo et Ariana Grande interprètent Elphaba et Glinda dans le film Wicked.
Bonjour.
Inspiré de l'univers du magicien d'Oz, le film nous plonge dans une histoire féerique et touchante pour nous parler d'un sujet fort et important, l'amitié féminine. Mais pourquoi c'est important d'en parler aujourd'hui?
I think some of strongest relationships are with the women that we spend our lives with and we spend time with, and we learn so much from each other that why not talk about it more? Why not celebrate it more? These relationships are really complex.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, we go through things and the way we move through them and navigate them often by talking to one another and solving our issues with each other. So I think it's really important to show that it's possible, that it's real, and that it can be done.
It's also a very complicated friendship, and I think you really get to see what it means to truly love someone in this friendship too, because it's hard work, especially when you disagree, especially when you have different places where you need to go for your own self and for what's good for you. But loving someone through that and understanding what's good for them and supporting it, even if you have to love them from afar, is another, I think, beautiful part of friendship sometimes. It's like you can grow apart and still love each other.
Mm-hmm.
What is this feeling so sudden and new?
I felt the moment I laid eyes on you.
Well, not to sound corny, but I mean, I truly think we have been changed for the better through knowing each other, through knowing John M. Chu, this beautiful cast and crew, every single person involved in the making of this film who you don't see sitting with us here today or on these panels. We were all very close.
Yeah. Everyone poured a lot of themselves into this, and we couldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for every single person who you don't get to see on screen. So I think within this relationship, yes, we, each other, I think have changed.
Definitely been changed for good.
But I think in the wider sense of it, we have also built a big old family.
And it seems like you two have been the closest observer to each other. And I wondered what moved you the most in each other's performances?
Oh my goodness. I think Cynthia is so strong. And I think sometimes it takes a lot for her to let people in to see that side of her. And I know that for Elphaba, she had to really let that come to the forefront to use it as her superpower, and a big part of her magic is her vulnerability. And I think that was just so beautiful to see, because I know it's personal, and I know that it is, yes, it's Elphaba's pain, but it's yours. And I think that's probably the thing I'm most in awe of, proud of you.
I think what I'm proud of with Ari is that she's funneled a lot of the hurts and the losses that she's been through in her life through Glinda. And I think it's a brave thing to do. Being funny and comedic is also deeply brave, because you have to allow yourself to play and be. I do think there's a deep sense of vulnerability that comes from having to do that. You have to allow some things might not work. You have to be open to things maybe not landing the way you want them to land, and keep trying and trying again. I watch her try over and over again and try new things and be open and be, willing to just do. And I think this being her first big part and her coming out with such aplomb and such grace is so wonderful to see.
Thank you.
I feel like she stepped into a purpose, which is really wonderful to bear witness to. You made me really proud, babe. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So did you, needless to say.
I have a last bonus question.
Okay.
It's for both of you. So first, Ariana, if Glinda had to make a music playlist with artists from this day and age, what 3 artists would make it for sure?
Well, I think that's too hard, because I think we get asked a lot of modern day questions about these women, and kind of sometimes people ask us to put them in today's
they don't
world.
necessarily fit.
I don't think they belong here. I don't know that
I don't even think that they belong in the same sort of universe.
No.
They're not really from.
She listens to classical music and, the birds chirping. I don't know that she has a playlist. She would be like, what playlist?
Yeah.
What's a playlist?
I think Cynthia made a playlist for Elphaba, but I don't know that, What was on my playlist?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I had everything from sort of Doja Cat,
Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce.
Yes, and Beyonce. I picked particular songs that speak to different emotions within me, just to sort of like bring me close enough for me to then take over. So there are songs that connect with the like a deeply emotional part of me, and there are songs that connect with like the rage and anger. There are things that connect with loss, just because of like sense memory, and then the rest I take on. But we have different processes, and so making a playlist as the characters odd because we make it as ourselves
for the
character. Yeah.
Did you have a playlist too?
I had silence a lot of the time. I used to do meditations in the car ride in, but then sometimes, depending on if it was like a more fun thing, I would do music in the mornings, and I had a Munchkinland playlist. But if it were something that were like a little more emotional, I would just kind of do a little bit of quiet in the morning and meditation. I have my Insight Timer app that was really good for my head. And yeah, I don't know. I had a fun one, but I didn't have like I'd used different things for the more emotional stuff. I wasn't a music person.
Thank you for your time.
You're like, what did I get
thank you for
myself
the
into?
movie.
Sorry.
Konbini!